here. Good morning, folks. My name is Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU, a site for legacy death and taxes, and my streams should return back to more or less normal schedule now. I will be moving this weekend, well, Monday specifically, but I should be able to more or less return to like my normal 2 or 3 times a week schedule once that's all sorted out. Latin Academy went great. I'm home. Everything's awesome. This year was great. Very few problems. Let's play some Magic. So this is a sweet deck list that I'm really excited to play. This is from Peter Vanderham, who was the one who gave me my my Teamer Crash, my like Rogue Rhino deck list that I played before, which, believe it or not, ended up being my most popular video on YouTube ever. So here's an awesomely greedy deck list. It is a 4-color control. It looks a whole lot like Check Pile, but instead of Deathrite Shaman, we have Arkham's Astrolabe. So I'm going to assume you don't know this one. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card, and you can filter a mana. So you pay 1 mana to get a mana of a different color. Note that you do need a snow mana in order to cast this. That's why we have all snow basics. So this deck list essentially is trying to out mid-range and outvalue the other decks of the format. You know, you have Plague Engineer and Wrenn and 6 to deal with small creatures, Icefang Coatl's Death Touch to deal with slightly bigger creatures, Snapcaster to flashback all your various value removal spells, as well as a handful of other planeswalkers like Narset and Jace. I have some concerns about the deck list, number 1 being that my blue count is actually relatively low. It's going to sound weird to say this, but Astrolabe in this deck is probably better than Ponder. So my blue count is much, much lower than normal. It's still fine. Like, I think we get 20? We still get 20, but a lot of times some of these blue decks might end up somewhere closer to like the 22 or 24 range. So if you want to go and cut some of your blue cards for post-sideboard games, you do need to be like cognizant of like, do I have enough blue cards left for Force of Will and Force of Negation? The sideboard's really sweet. I don't know that it's like optimal, but because you're in 4 colors, you can kind of play a lot of the best cards. So for example, like you're essentially a Grixis control deck that can like play blowout cards like Veil of Summer, which Julian has been hyping up a lot on Twitter for Elves. So I'm excited to try this card out. Let's see if we can outvalue some people. I'm always so careful to make sure I do the right thing. Legacy League. Snowpile. Let's join. Let's see if I can get a trophy today. It's been mostly 4 1s and like 3 2s and 2 3s for me lately. 2 3s have been probably because I've been testing some weird things. But I've been playing a lot of D&T, and it's felt like a struggle. I've had this discussion with a lot of people. Some people still say it's fine, but I just keep getting paired against these like ridiculous 4-color control decks like this one and getting absolutely destroyed. I'm not getting paired against the Delver decks that everyone else is getting paired against, unfortunately. And that's how life goes sometimes. Now, apparently, potentially a legacy staple. Alright. I won the die roll. So this'll be a keep. Excuse me while I look at my mana base to confirm that I can play Wrenn and 6 on turn 2. So I could fetch Badlands or Tropical Island in order to do this. I guess I don't need to think about it till next turn, and I have confirmed that I have at least something that can do it. Ooh, that's a big raid. Hello, hello, welcome folks. My name is Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU, a site for legacy death and taxes. Today we are playing some 4-color control featuring Arkham's Astrolabe. The deck list is a little bit greedy. If you're not familiar with it, take a look at the Cardboard Live extension on the left-hand side of your screen. Ooh, Sorcerer's Spyglass here is interesting. If I let it resolve, it can shut off my Planeswalker, it can shut off my Polluted Delta. I should probably Force of Negation this. I think it's going to be worth the card. Because if my Wrenn and 6 goes down, I can't continue to make my land drops with my current hand. Why are we playing a Modern deck in a Legacy League? Now that's a great question. It's because I'm a greedy boy. This deck list does look super fun. I'm excited to try this out. I've been playing a lot of D&T, and Wrenn and 6 and Plague Engineer have been wrecking me. So this is for a change of pace. I'm a simple man. I would just like to fetch a land. So what are we doing here? I just need to get something that can cast Wrenn and 6. Preferably something that's 2 colors. That I don't have, so like I could get Badlands here, and that's 2 different colors that I don't have. Let's do that. Yeah, man, that's a great point. Like, a lot of the things that I stream are because A, I've gotten bored, or B, I've found a sweet deck list, and I think it would be amusing for the stream to go and try it out. One unfortunate thing to point out is that both of my fetch lands currently are Polluted Delta, so I don't get a lot of variety in what I can fetch. And if another Sorcerer's Spyglass comes down and it names Polluted Delta, my Wrenn and 6 gets a whole lot worse. Yeah, Ballista's fine. Is that your only land, friend? No, okay. So we're playing against some sort of, like, Eldrazi post deck in all likelihood. So I can ping this Ballista, then my opponent can shoot it in response. Is that better than Fatal Pushing? Let's ponder first and then figure it out. What am I looking for? This Brainstorm is solid. The Fatal Push probably isn't all that great. Let's take the Brainstorm. Let's ping that. You'll ping it again. And then, in case of emergency, I can go and use this to filter my Badlands into blue mana and Brainstorm. It wouldn't be a perfect Brainstorm because I know I have 2 lands on top of my deck, so I wouldn't just, like, fire that off in that capacity. I could think about doing that, though. In that I could trade my Polluted Delta for a Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, this was a risk. But if I didn't ping the Walking Ballista, they could have just pumped it anyway. Don't really think that's going to be worth Force of Willing. I think I'll just let that happen and then brainstorm on my turn and try to find a new walker. I don't think I'm going to hit both Force of Will and blue card with a single brainstorm. Yeah, that occurs. Really? Is my opponent going to let me use the red and 6? That's interesting. Well, that was a wonderful draw. So now I can return this land, get the Ren and 6 out of pinging range. Yeah, this is nuts. Yeah, that is exactly my line. 100% in agreement there. So my Ren and 6 gets pinged down. My Ren and 6 could have just died. I guess they were getting kind of greedy with it. Hopefully that's an indication that their hand is a little bit weak. Hey, is Liliana of the Veil and Ren and 6 a good combo, chat? How does that feel to you? Because it feels pretty disgusting to me. Super happy with where this game's going now. Because, like, the biggest problem I was having with this game is that, like, their big expensive cards were going to sit in hand and eventually overwhelm me. So hopefully I'm either knocking them off enough lands where they can't cast those, or the Lily is a good enough answer to whatever they'll cast. Alright, well here we go. This could be bad. Hopefully it's just like something of the quality of Oblivion Sower. Or some big artifact that I can K-command. Okay, that's not great for me. Because that can just kill my Lily, then I can't Lily minus and defeat that. Actually, Reality Smasher is just going to be a hard card for me to answer, period, right? How many outs do I have to that? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 basics, so Dead of Winter technically could be an out. I have a Liliana's Triumph, another Lily of the Veil, Ice Fang Coatls for Death Touch. So I guess let's start here, get deeper. And then brainstorm. Don't have anything that is going to do 4 damage. Don't need to worry about running 6 ping. Is there a world where I'd want to put back double polluted delta? Probably not, but let's keep that option available. Alright. Snapcaster not quite getting there right now. So let's send back Delta and Volcanic Island. Play Prismatic Vista, Fetch, and Snapcaster Ponder. I feel like I have so much flexibility. Yeah, I'll keep these. The Thoughtseize probably isn't that good. Force of Will's probably better. So let's hide the Ice Fang Coatl on top. Not shuffle. I've used this. Pass the turn. Hope for the best. Alright. Goodbye, Renin 6. I will get the opportunity to decide if I want to Thoughtseize. But my opponent hasn't played anything else, so maybe I do want to draw that Thoughtseize. It means telegraphing the Ice Fang Coatl, though, which I don't love. Well, my opponent has 3 cards in hand, and maybe they're just playing around Dread of Winter. I don't know how much that is on their radar. I think I need to pass the turn. I'll take my 2 points of damage. But passing the turn lets me Force of Will if my opponent does something devastating and play the Ice Fang Coatl later. So I don't want to draw the Thoughtseize now. I would like to draw a blue card for the Force of Will. Let's get the other one of these. Because now I have as many snow basics as possible for my Dread of Winter if I draw it. Well, I definitely didn't need Polluted Delta again. Although I do appreciate its enthusiasm for showing up. It's bringing a lot to the table. I'll probably end up just K-commanding, make them discard a card. Yeah, Matter Reshaper's fine. I'll just trade a body for that. Do I want to shock that? Or do I want to make them discard a card? They might just be sitting on a handful of lands. Penguin, thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for your continued support. I do appreciate it. My numbers dropped pretty heavily when I went to Latin Academy and mostly did YouTube content creation for a couple of weeks. So let's return Ice Fang Coatl. Let's go ahead and kill the Matter Reshaper. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually correct. Alright, let's go with Matter Reshaper. Eye of Ugin. That's a disaster. Well, good game. I need to find my one of Wasteland basically right now. They would have drawn it anyway next turn, but them putting it in play now when they can actually use it is a disaster. Yikes. Yikes. Morning, and thank you very much for the deck list, by the way. Alright. Wasteland. That's unfortunate. I feel like we had stabilized this game. So here's the good news. The good news is that I can Force of Will a creature. I can Liliana's Triumph another creature. They have an Ancient Tomb, so they'll maybe do a little bit of damage to themselves. There are still worlds in which I can win this game, but they're a little far-fetched. Maybe they don't have anything scary in their deck, right? It's a big Walking Ballista. It's a very big Walking Ballista. Tap that Ancient Tomb, please. Do it. Do it. Why the pause? What are you thinking about? Do you have two different things? You're considering if you should play Ballista for 4 plus another thing? Well, that requires a Force of Will, because if I let that resolve, it gets like a 3-for-1. And then they get to do whatever thing they can do next. Like, it's occurring, but I have to answer the Ballista. Grim Monolith is fine. Grim Monolith is fine. Are you out of gas? Man, there's worlds in which I can do this. So, if my opponent taps that Ancient Tomb to use Eye of Ugin right now, then my 1 of Lightning Bolt is the out that I can play to for the rest of this game. So does my opponent have 4 walking ballistas? That's the current big question. They have an Olamog the Ceaseless Hunger. That's actually fine-ish. It exiles both my creatures, but I can answer it. Does that get shuffled back into the library if it goes to graveyard? I don't think so. Bye, friends. I can also probably like Eye of Ugin for a Matter Reshaper, too. So Snapcaster Mage. Great. Inquisition of Kozilek. Less good. Am I still going to cast it? Yes. I guess. Like, my opponent probably doesn't have anything, but they could be sandbagging a Ballista or something, and I would be super glad that I did this. It's possible that this should just be saved for Brainstorm fodder, but I've already got the Tropical Island as Brainstorm fodder. Alright, Eldrazi Temple and Waste. That's about what I expected. Alright, what terrible thing do you have for me off of Eye of Ugin now? I want this game so bad. Oh boy. Annihilate 4, you say? Sounds wonderful. So if you are considering on what you should play in order to bully the red and 6 decks, something with Eye of Ugin. Probably an okay place to start. That or some real fast combo decks. Okay, this Glimmer Post eliminates most of my outs to the current board. For Absolute Rubbins, next card is Lightning Bolt. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. We're just like the Singleton Wasteland Ren deck. It's not like Rug Delver where it's Ren and 6 plus. Alright, we're still in the game. Does this one shuffle? So I know how this is gonna play out, but we're not dead yet, so here we go. Like, I kill this, and then they can just, like, shuffle. Oh god, this shuffles all these things back in, too, so they can search them up, too. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't played around with any of the Hogak decks yet. I conceptually like the idea of the Hogak Depths deck in that it gives you another path to victory for those decks and plays around a lot of the hate. But I haven't tried it out. So how many posts do they have? Why did they get Reality Smasher? Aren't I dead to Ballista? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 20 mana. Yeah, I'm just dead to a Ballista, so I don't know why they didn't get one of those. But hey, if I'm not dead yet... Oh, they might be able to just double Smasher with the amount of mana that they have. At this point, I'm just kind of like curious how long I can actually stay in this match. Okay, I am dead to Double Smasher. That is why my opponent didn't just get the Ballista. So Needle for Eye seems good. Let's start there. Caracas for their legendary creatures is questionable because they have ETB triggers. Consider Ancient Grudge and Decay. I didn't see any Chalice type stuff that game, but like they presumably have to be in there. Plague Engineer on Eldrazi is probably a little ambitious, so we probably won't go that route. It doesn't look like we're actually going to have all that much. So, like, what's going to be bad? Fatal Push isn't going to be awesome. Spell Snare and Spell Pierce aren't going to be awesome. Lightning Bolt that game would have been clutch, and I'll probably just keep that to try to close out games if I end up in similar situations. Will I play a 3-mana 2/2 Death Toucher? You bring up a good point there. Maybe I will. So I'm definitely going to want these two then, just to continue going through. Dead of Winter can still take out Reality Smashers, so I'll keep those in. The thing about Fatal Push is that it can hit Thought-Knot Seer still, which is relevant. Snare's only going to be good against, like, basically Chalice, and I guess Spyglass. IOK can be questionable. It's like fine on, like, turns maybe 1 through 3, and then dead after that. I think I'll play the other Decay. Maybe the Grudge. Not 100% sure on like which one of these cards is worse. Force of Negation is narrow. I could buy that. So I'm going to cut from things in this pile. I think I'm going to rip the IOKs out of the deck since they're so bad in the mid to late game. Spell Snare is probably narrow. Pierce gets outclassed, but is good early interaction. But I'm going to be tapping out for this or this early, so I think that loses some oomph. So let's try this. I would like to play first. How good of a Magic card is Brainstorm? I can turn 1 Ponder, look for a land. Assuming I find a land, I'll have an Ancient Grudge for a Chalice or a Monolith or a Spyglass. If I miss off the Ponder, I can Brainstorm, and if I miss with that Brainstorm, I'll die. I'll be keeping this one. I think it is of a medium to medium minus power level. Hello! This is great. I will probably be on board for just drawing basically all of these. How I choose to order this is tricky, though. Because I probably want to just wasteland their first land, which means I want to draw this. I want to put this as the top card of my library. So they don't see it coming. So I think I'm going to go Volcanic, Wasteland, Verdant, draw the Verdant now. Wasteland them next turn. If they Spyglass, they can see the Verdant Catacombs and shut that off, and I'll be okay with that. And I'll probably still want to draw the Volcanic Island because like I have these 3 and 4 mana cards in my hand. If I have to force something, I'll probably force and pitch my Brainstorm. I don't really see myself wanting to fetch, so I'm just going to play out Volcanic Island so that I can Ancient Grudge something if my opponent plays out an artifact. Yeah. Take your pick. I'm Ancient Grudging that immediately. I don't have a Bayou in this deck list. So unfortunately, I can't Verdant Catacombs for Bayou. I'll probably get a Tropical Island so that I have access to green mana, but then I won't have double black for the lilies. But that's okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. I might need to just get Forest. That's actually a fine draw. I'm in an okay situation. I'll feel much better if I can stick this Jace. So I can trade my Plague Engineer for that if I let it resolve. But I'll lose my Jace if I let it resolve. And I don't think that's acceptable. Because, like, having the Jace means that the non-hasty threats are so much less of a deal. So I'm going to get that out of there and pitch my Force of Negation. If I draw a land, I'll just Jace. If I don't draw a land, I'll Brainstorm. Try to figure out everything. Ooh, my opponent does not have more lands. Ooh. Now do I Force? Or, sorry, now do I Brainstorm? Or do I just save the Brainstorm as Force fodder? I think I need to Brainstorm. Because if I find if I find Renin 6, the game will basically end on the spot. And like I can Brainstorm holding up the correct colors for Renin 6. That's not great. I'm not thrilled with what's on top of the library here. No, this needs snow mana to be cast. That's the limiting factor there. This makes snow mana? Seriously? Does not look like it does. Hold on, bigger picture. No, it just adds 1 mana of any color. It doesn't add... Snow permanents make snow mana? Huh. Today I learned. Alright, that's on me. So, like, I'm gonna be... I could have gotten 1 card deeper last turn. Let's see if that's relevant. So whatever card I get here could have been in my hand. Alright. Would not have been relevant, but very, very good to know. I thought the wording on Snow Basics just said that they produced snow mana. Alright. Error from me. I did not play in the original snow mana times. So now, do I destroy this Grim Monolith or this Chalice of the Void? That's a real question. Oh, by the way, I've missed a handful of followers. So the Giant Hobbit, Lunatic 333 Glitch, NY Guy 800, and JOSU. Thank you all very much for following. I hope you're enjoying the content. I can just, like... No, let's just do both. Like, I can Abrupt Decay 1 and use my Ancient Grudge Flashback to get the other. Do I want more Snowlands? I have 3 snow permanents already. Yeah, let's take another one of these. Guess I'll hold that for a turn. So Red Hot, do you remember when Deathrite Shaman was the big thing? And everyone was essentially playing increasingly grittier piles to combat each other? I think that's where we're at right now. I think Ren and 6 is the real deal. I think Ren and 6 is here to stay. People will adapt to it a little bit. But until they print another broken card, I expect Legacy to be a mush of multicolor decks. Top decked a few too many lands here. So I think my opponent just funneling mana into Walking Ballista will probably be good enough for them to beat me here. No, I agree that Ren and 6 is not as broken as Deathrite Shaman is, but I also think that Ren and 6 does very similar things to what Deathrite Shaman did. I don't think running 6 is like ban-worthy or anything like that, but now I have to hold this back, and my opponent will just pump mana into Walking Ballista to kill it. Yeah, so like this one isn't as universal. You do actually need like 2 quote non-optimal colors in order to like play it. But it's like a 2-mana planeswalker that like can minus and vindicate a huge portion of the threats in Legacy. So I don't think I can actually play towards my Dead of Winter as an out, since I only have 3 snow lands. That checks snow lands, right? Not snow permanents. Oh, it is snow permanent, so I can play towards that. That would be a great top deck. Snapcaster Mage, what can you do? Snapcaster Abrupt Decay isn't good enough. I can Snapcaster, Ponder into Dread of Winter, fetch, go to 2, ping, down to 1, and still live. Alright, Snapcaster Mage, you have one job. Icefang Coatl's not good enough because my opponent will just pump Ballista, ping, ping, kill me. Shuffle. And we're dead. I mean, I'm happy with how that match went. Like, it was an 0-2, but I fought valiantly. Snapcaster's a pretty good creature. The more broken the spells are, the better that card is. You know? Vintage, you know, 3 mana for a 2/1 plus 3 cards is a pretty good rate. Oh. Yeah. Shoutouts to my sponsor Cardboard Live, by the way, for making the viewing experience so much better for literally everyone. And for me, it also lets me go and take a look at all these 1-ofs that I'm playing, especially in the sideboard. Note that because this deck list is so big, like you can scroll down to see the sorceries. The sorceries are a little bit off screen by default. And that's just because we have so many singletons. I guess if I'm doing shoutouts to sponsors, also shoutouts to Card Hoarder for giving me a loan account so I don't have to buy these Renin 6s. Because at nearly $100 a piece, they sting a little bit. Hopefully that gets added to some treasure chests whenever there's another update so that people can get them more easily. This seems like a great opening hand. I have a cantrip / mana fixer, I have a death toucher, and I have a force if my opponent does something degenerate. Well, we were talking about something degenerate. I'm going to sit here and look at this K command for a second and think about just letting this resolve. The issue being that I really want this to fix my mana, and I only have half of the mana that I need in order to do this. I don't think I can let this resolve. But it's really close. So the next question is, do I just want to fetch a basic land with my Misty Rainforest right now? I don't think I do. I think I'm just going to go... So the thing about fetching for a basic with a Misty is that I'd go and shut myself off of Culligan's commanding. Lightning Bolt is probably a great draw. Like Lightning Bolt something, Snapcaster, Lightning Bolt the next thing is very strong. Looter Scooter? Alright. So we're probably playing against Painter? Never mind. Well, I'm going to get to have 2 removal spells up. And I guess I'll throw this out here in case I need to turn on Fatal Push. For example, if my opponent plays out a Thought-Knot Seer. Oh. Yeah, life's feeling pretty good. If my opponent doesn't really do anything on their turn, I'll probably be fine with just K commanding their Copter and making them discard a card. The thing that worries me is if my opponent's not playing out a bunch of stuff right now, it probably means that they have big things like Reality Smashers and Oblivion Sowers that I can't currently answer. Sort of wish I had something like a Brainstorm to help me sculpt my hand. White Eldrazi it is. Stoneforge Mystic can resolve. Sort of Fire and Ice. So I want to save my K command for that. And I think I'll just Lightning Bolt this down. I don't want them looting. And my hand looks great. Do I want to play Fetch or just another basic? Probably just another basic. And I'm fine with letting the Stoneforge live and letting them put in equipment at a discounted rate. I'm in no hurry here. If I continue to make land drops, then like things like K command, Snapcaster, K command become more and more viable. Well, we can't. No, I guess we could. What is 6 mana here? A Reality Smasher. That is not good for me. No, I guess it's fine. I can Snapcaster Lightning Bolt to deal with that. Goodbye Reality Cat Smasher, and goodbye probably Misty Rainforest. Do I want to brainstorm? Don't really think I want to brainstorm. I also think I want to wait for them to go for the equip on their turn. And then fetch for K command reasons. I'm thinking about fetching right now to play around Aven Mind Sensor, but that's probably me playing too scared. Maybe I should brainstorm first. Oh wow, these are cards. So I'm going to put back Prismatic Vista. That much I know. Then I think I'm going to put back Liliana's Triumph so that I can push and Narset on my turn. But I think that's very close, because Liliana's Triumph will answer some of the bigger cards. So I need to get something that makes one of the K command colors. I think I want access to Underground Sea. Destroy target artifact, 2 damage to any target. Target artifact, 2 damage. Yeah, the copter is A-okay with me. Let's leave up a basic, because I can still filter the mana through this. That way I don't get wastelanded at an awkward time. The Ren and 6 pinging is okay. Most of their threats are going to be bigger than 1 toughness. It's possible that just taking the Ponder to have the Force of Will safety net is better than this Ren and 6. I'm going to take the Ren and 6. But I think that is a much closer decision than you might think against a deck playing white creatures. Yeah, that's fine. So now they'll activate the Smuggler's Copter, and I'll kill it with Fatal Push. So now I'm hoping to find something with Narset or my draw step to answer this. Really wish I could pick up that Snapcaster. Oh, dumb magic, you're right. It's a May, though. So if they were smart, they wouldn't have done it, but that's a good point. I've never had that interaction come up before. I think I want to Thoughtseize a card out of their hand. I feel like they still have gas. It's just white. So let's do this and then use this information to help sculpt the rest of my turn. All right, they have Mox Diamond and Eldrazi Temple. All right, am I gonna throw this Ren and 6 in play? I think I am. It's like not awesome. It's a good distraction. Let's play something that will let me shuffle my deck, but probably not produce mana. So my Narset probably sits on the table. Ren and 6 probably gets attacked for 3. then my Misty Rainforest doesn't actually fetch a basic, so I won't have hard cast Force of Will. Maybe that means I should have played Tropical Island on my current turn. This is giving me a compelling reason to have not done that. So let's Renin 6+, return a Misty Rainforest. Now I can Brainstorm and ship back 2 lands. Holy moly. So let's ship back land, land. Lily. This is awkward, but I'm going to do it. So target player sacrifices a creature. That just means you're going to bounce your Thalia. But it's not attacking for a turn, so that's totally fine. Now, did I play a land this turn? No, I didn't. So next turn, I can Ren minus, Ren minus. Get the Thalia off the table again. And then Force of Will it on its way back down. This isn't necessarily like 100% GG. Yeah, I also have 2 bad cards on top of my library. So, like, I'm definitely fetching end of turn. I'll just fetch once, though. Yeah, that's fine. Also, how sick of a draw would Wasteland be? Just throwing that out there. I'm going to keep this for the shuffle effect. I'll just get super punished if I draw the Tropical Island. Alright, so let me confirm. So I have Ren minus, you bounce. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have enough mana to do that. Everything that I want. Unless they Wasteland me and play around it. Why Ren before I play a land? Like I'd be Ren minus, not plus this turn. Am I missing something? Yeah, I won't be activating Lily. Alright, so Misty Rainforest no longer is a valid fetch land. Fuck! What a tilt. What a tilt. Ugh. So I guess I don't even want to tick the Liliana up, because it just puts me down a card, and they're going to attack and kill the Lily. No, I guess I need to incentivize them to have to attack it rather than the Ren in 6. Legendary creatures plus Caracas. Good combo. Drogder Burninates, thank you very much for following, as well as Setai Wakaranai. I saw a post on one of my friends' Facebook today that there's like a Trogdor board game. So I really want to go and try that out. Who knows if it's good, but it'll probably be hilarious. Bye, Lily. It's going to be a Thought Knots here. A Walking Ballista. Okay, Command? Oh. Oh, this is not good. Help me, Brainstorm. You're my only hope. Yeah, I went from thinking, how can I possibly lose this game, to how can I possibly win this game very quickly. So now my opponent gets to put a counter on the Walking Ballista. I guess the hope is that they put 2 counters on the Walking Ballista and give me a chance to kill Thalia. I don't even know if they could go for the Ren in 6 here. I think you just go to the face and put me dead on board next turn. But I could see that decision going either way. Well, let's see what they do. God, please, like, shoot me in the face with Walking Ballista and bounce your Thalia. Then let me discard the Thalia. I will do such a happy dance. Oh man, I think it's happening. I think it's happening! Oh man! Alright, so they kill my Lily. Ah, they sacked the 1/1 Ballista. That is unfortunate. Why did opponent want to kill me instead of getting value? So unfortunate. Oof. Alright, Plague Engineer seems good. I don't think I'll want a Pithing Needle equipment. Abrupt Decay seems good. I'll probably board in Caracas to bounce their idiots. That seems fine. Ancient Grudge is probably fine. That's probably all I'll want to sideboard. Fetch, cast Thoughtseize, go out on your own terms. My fetch would have entered tapped, so I couldn't go out on my own terms. Force of Negation can probably go. Generally speaking, I think my deck is well suited to fighting their deck, though. They're playing White Eldrazi. What would have happened if you'd ping Ballista before Liliana's -2? That's a good thought. Yeah, I agree. Pierce is medium. Narset's fine. Narset's just a distraction, though. They probably don't have Palace Jailer. They do have Looter Scooter, though. So, like, there is some value to be had via Narset. Is Snare just going to be too narrow? It hits Stoneforge and Chalice and Jitte? It's going to be a lot of 3 and 4 drops in this deck, so this might be too narrow, despite the fact that it's powerful. Like, I think I like IOK and Thoughtseize better. And Scooter and Thali. Alright. Maybe this needs to stay. All my cards are so good. So maybe for that reason I end up cutting this. Am I just supposed to trim an IOK to get my numbers to work? Oh, what if I go the route of cutting forces? Like, what if I cut 2 forces, and then I can keep IOK and Narset? And then when I'm on the draw, I can go the other direction and play the forces instead. Negatorita, thank you very much for following, as well as Caglioletto3. So this is going to be a game where I'm just going to play towards Dead of Wintering my opponent out of the game. I will keep that. Morning. You just missed a real insane match. Would be a great Chalice. Thorn I don't care so much about, but that's okay. Like, it's obviously an annoyance, but... Oh, geez, I am very low on time. Alright, let's boogie. I could have considered playing out my Underground Sea there in respect of Thalia Heretic Cathar, but doing so would expose me to Wasteland, which I don't really want to do right now. Oh, don't thought not away my dead of winter. Don't do it. That's okay. I'm going to continue to play around Wasteland. Sure, that's fine. I need to extract more value than just a 1-for-1 with this. Ripping a K command or an abrupt decay would be absolutely sick, by the way. I can't even brainstorm to hide it. That is so unfortunate. So that's basically the scenario where I lost this game. Don't think I can win this one now. Well, that helps. It doesn't really, because Walking Ballista will just gun it down, so I can't actually ambush Viper. Yuck. Okay, so... I guess let's play this now. Four of my cards are dead in hand. One of my cards is dead on board. My Snapcaster doesn't have a valid target. I would have felt real good about this game if I could have just taken both of these off the board, then had the Ice Fang Coatl for whatever came next. I guess I should have played Snapcaster Mage to try and... No, if I played Snapcaster Mage, my opponent would have just dumped the mana into it and then pinged it. Go Gadget 2-1. I wish I had another Dead of Winter right now. I don't know that I'm realistically on any outs. Let's back that one in. We are 0-2 versus Eldrazi today. No, Plague Engineer... Well, I guess Plague Engineer would name Construct, kill the 1-1 Ballista, trade with Athought Natsir. I'd take 4. Yeah, that wouldn't have been the end of the world. It had to be that draw step, though. Like the following draw step, it's not good enough. Hey, I'm having a lot of fun playing this pile. I don't regret submitting this list. I think we were probably very favored in that matchup as a whole. I think if I had won that game 1, I probably could have taken one of the 2 post-sideboard games. But the Thalia Heretic Cathar plus Caracas combo was pretty devastating. I have all the right sort of cards to be bullying decks like that one. Yep, I'll keep this one. We have some sweet mana fixing. We'll be hoping that our opponent is playing a fair deck because, like, we have a removal-based hand. Guess I'll play a fetch and leave myself with the opportunity to brainstorm this turn. I don't want to like brainstorm now and look for discard. I don't have enough information about what I'm playing against yet. It's going to be like a Vampire Hexmage. Nope. Maybe a Stoneforge Mystic. A Chalice of the Void. Well, that's going to get K commanded on my next turn. So I guess my opponent is going to be playing something like maybe Sylvan Plug? So using that information, I'm going to brainstorm now. I probably just put back a couple of lands. Well, the whole Snapcaster K command train incoming seems sweet. Sure could be Loam too. In agreement. So I probably want to fetch basics. So this can get basic swamp. Then I can play out this basic island, filter through here. So let's put back my bad lands. And I actually think I just want to like redraw one of my lands. Like I think I want to keep hitting land drops. Because I'm going to want to get to 5 lands for Snapcaster K command. So now the hope is if they're playing Loam, if they play out something like Bob, that would be ideal for me. Decision to play around Wasteland, rewarded instantly. Knight's a 4/4, that'd be less good for me. Sylvan Library. That is a pain. Not a lot I can do about that. That resolves. Let's junk one of your cards. What do you have for me, friend? Oh, wow, they discarded Bob. Their hand must be quite good. My hand is also quite good. Do I want to play an Icefang Coatl now? To just see what I draw? If the answer is yes, I should have not played Baron Catacombs in case I drew a different fetch land. What's my basic sweep like? I have 2 snow-covered swamps, so I can still get another basic off of this, so I guess it's fine. Yeah, let's play 1 now. In case I draw like a discard spell or something. Because I don't really see myself wanting to Snapcaster Brainstorm. Alright, this is a great thing to have in my pocket. This can potentially answer a knight. So I'm not actually going to get to play the other Icefang Coatl this turn, right? Because I have forest, island, island, swamp. Yeah. Okay, that's a punish for playing that out early. I thought I could do 2, so there wasn't a reason for me to do the second. We'll see if they just plus, though. So I can just play out a Snapcaster Mage, sacrifice the Snapcaster Mage, and keep my Icefang Coatl since it's a Death Toucher, and also get rid of the Lily. Let's do that. I'm not willing to lose a land right now. So I kind of just want to play out my Liliana and have it sit on the board to put myself into a situation where my Liliana's Triumph is really good on future turns. So I think I'm just going to play out my Lily and not do anything with it. There are worlds where that can be awkward with a Punishing Fire or something, but I think that's fine. Oh, man. Feels good. Feels good. Ha! 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 You sacrifice a Bob. Ooh, discard a knight. You lose a creature. You lose a Sylvan Library. I attack for 1. What a turn. Super rewarded for playing out that Liliana. Alright, you have a knight. So you have a 5/5 knight, so I could Dead of Winter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 snow permanents, so I can just Dead of Winter that. And plus and discard my land. I could also just like play out my land and make them wasteland me. Wait until they draw Snap into Triumph. That is mighty cute. It lets them activate the Knight. Are they going to have any land that would ruin me, though? Like, if they get a Grove and a Punishing Fire, I really don't like that. So I don't know that it's safe to let them untap with that Knight. I think I need to answer it one way or another this turn. I could Ice Fang Coatl now, if I'm willing to play this land out. But I don't think I am. So let's just kill this thing. Well, plus, fine with discarding his Badlands. And then let's give Mr. or Mrs. Mo Tackett a little love tap with my snake. I'd like to draw a blue fetch land to get my next basic. Gaddock Teague's fine. Like, do I even want to do anything about that? This might be the turn where I Snapcaster Liliana's Triumph. We have discarded a Life from the Loam. Alright, so there's my 5th land, but I have just, like, de-incentivized myself from having another land. I'm probably going to Loam and get back, like, Dryad Arbor and Tranquil Thicket and all sorts of annoying things. Let's do this now. Use it to inform the rest of my turn. So I'll play one of these out, so I have 5 lands. That's the most that I'll ever need. Can plus, get rid of one of these, not really care about it. And just bash in. I don't even know that my opponent can start taking the Loam. They are. So what did they dredge? Okay, they dredged a Punishing Fire. That is half of the equation. But my plan is to just aggro my opponent out. I don't know that what they have is going to be fast enough. Like, if they can play Maze of Ith and stop the Snapcaster beats, but I'm still going to get 3 points a turn. I don't really want that. I needed to fetch to play the Ice Fang Coatl. Right, and I had to use it and all my mana to... Yeah, it's not blue-black. It's green-blue. I guess I like keep picking this lily up just because it threatens from a different axis, and like these follow-up lands aren't really important. So if they hit a grove, things are a little annoying, but I can probably close things out still. Am I going to be minusing on a Dryad Arbor for 1 point of damage? You bet. Guess it's better to do this than not. Well, no, I guess I'm minusing this turn. I wish I was paying attention to what lands they had, because I don't think this does anything right now. I'm not going to take the time to figure it out. I'm going to hold that. We'll say I'm holding it for brainstorm reasons. Oh, you're punishing fire, you say? Well, that's not bad. Well, at least they don't have a grove, because really, if they get a grove, I think this one turns in their favor on a dime. Holding the Inquisition also lets me hold a force of will if I draw one. Oh, Wasteland's great. Sacrifice a creature. Get rid of Mazavith. Win target game. Alright. Feels good. What do I want out of the sideboard? Pithing Needle's probably good for Planeswalkers. Spellbomb's probably good enough. Decay seems good. We'll consider Ancient Grudge. Force of Negation exiles. So that might be relevant for Life from the Loam reasons. The Death Touch of Plague Engineer is also something I can consider as another way to deal with Night. But the fact that it's a 2/2 is kind of medium. Surgicals as well. So I have a pile of 8 cards that I can consider. I don't think I'm going to end up bringing all of these in. So what's bad? Don't really know how to evaluate this matchup. I'm going to assume that they're going to be sideboarding into things like Chokes and Planeswalkers, so I should sideboard keeping that in mind. I'm probably not going to Spell Snare. While it's good against Chalice, it's far less good against like the Punishing Fires and Loams. since they're recursive. Alright, let's assume that I don't want to do this, just because I'm going to have to, like, make some cuts somewhere. Maybe I'll end up shaving forces. I don't know, it's so important to not let the planeswalkers resolve. Let's go down on some manipulation. Let's cut a piece of spot removal. And Chalice. Okay, I can see Pierce being worse on the draw, so what do I want back in over that? Probably a blue card. I'm putting a blue card back in purely in respect of my Force of Will count. Not confident on my sideboarding numbers there. I'll be keeping this hand. This hand is probably very good unless my opponent chalices on one, in which case I will flop around and die. Great. Ideal world is that they just, like, lead on Bob here. Thalia's fine. Thalia Caracas is less fine, but, you know, they'll tap out sometime. Great free counterspells that I can't cast. That's okay. The Thalias are awkward on their side of the table, too. Oh, man. Would you tap out for a knight and just let me, like... No, I guess if you tap out for knight, I can't Dead of Winter. The Thalia attacks. Do I want to trade a Renin 6 for Thalia? I think I do. Because then it turns on my two forces. And we saw before how a Thalia plus Caracas plays out in a long game. So this Renin 6 got us a Thalia and probably gains us 4 life. What are you going for, friend? Blast zone. That's neat. Get out. Get out. So this is 3 to sacrifice, right? Like, I know I just checked that. Yeah. Okay. So I have 5 snow permanents, so I can actually get rid of the night this turn with Dead of Winter. And I'm gonna play the rest of my turn out first, so I don't get savaged by Tranquil Thicket cycle. So I'm about to lose both of these. So do I want access to double blue or double black? Probably double black. So let's brainstorm. I'll ship away this Badlands. Ooh, a surgical extraction. That's good. Ooh, I can also just, like, wasteland that blast zone if I'd like. But not this turn. I think it's too important to answer the knight this turn. So let's put back Badlands, Misty. Delta, fetch the swamp. And then Dead of Winter. Two Ren and 6 was a choice in deck building. But also, like, there is a budget consideration to be had there. So that was... Yep. Good thing I have another Ren in 6. Alright, so let's Thoughtseize you, see what's going on over there. Make some choices accordingly. Maybe get some savage surgical extraction value. Alright, so Dryad Arbor and Taiga on the other side of the battlefield. Let's play this out. It's maybe incorrect too because of Blast Zone, but Blast Zone is a one-of. Bolt's great. When you get to the point where you start wastelanding the Loam deck, you know things have gone right somewhere. You have a Walker. You have a Knight. 8/8 Knight is pretty okay. Thank you. Thank you, top deck. I don't think I need to surgical tonight. Like, knight's a very good draw, but I think surgical is my safety net for if something goes wrong. Yeah, so if after I answer the first knight, I surgical it, what happens if instead of knight, they just, like, draw a life from the loam, right? I think I need to respect the long game because I have the short game covered. All right, folks, I'm going to take 30 seconds and run to the restroom. I'll be right back, and then we'll go into round 4. Oop, not that. Let's do this one. All right, let's jump back in it. If you joined chat recently, hello, my name is Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University, a site for legacy, death, and taxes. Today we are playing with a 4-color, like, snow pile. Arkham's Astrolabe is fixing our mana and allowing us to play with a great deal of greed. The league's going okay so far, but we got bullied by various Eldrazi decks in our first 2 rounds, and we just savagely wrecked a lone player in game 2. Game 1 was a slogfest, but we were favored for the majority of that time. Hope you're enjoying the content. Feels good to be back to streaming. Spent the last few weeks at Latin Academy, where I was essentially working from 8 a.m. to about 11 p.m. most days for a 3-week period. It was very rewarding and very fun, but I'm glad things are slowing down a little bit now. Getting ready to move. Sunday, I'm packing up the truck. Monday, I'm driving down to North Carolina. Still have some things to get figured out, but as a whole, very happy with how my summer's going right now. I'm playing against Oddball. I'll keep a hand with a Wrenn and 6 in it. Let's go. My opponent has wished me good luck. All right. So how frequently does it happen that a common from a new set becomes a playable legacy card? Like, how many commons from recent sets have actually made it into legacy? Was Magmatic Sinkhole a common? I think that was an uncommon. Okay, Magmatic Sinkhole is common. Okay. That's like the one that I can think of off the top of my head. You got the days, friend? Because I'll just try again next turn if you do. I mean, we'll see if this actually ends up being a playable card. The power level is high enough that the experimentation is certainly worth it. Alright, let's see if you stifle me here. Force pitch a true name. Well, I'm super happy to see a true name nemesis leave. I think I'm just going to throw this out here rather than the ponder. The ponder seems too valuable to play into a daze right now. It seems super weird to me that they'd be willing to pitch a true name nemesis if they know that I'm a control deck. I don't think I'm being ghosted or anything. I don't know what the texture of the rest of their hand looks like if they pitch true name. Oh, is the answer that they just have another true name? That would make sense. Yep. Well, good thing I have an answer to that. I don't have an answer to this yet. This is still a big problem. So I want to play this around days. I think I want the other island, I guess. I mean, I respect it. Palsuza, thank you very much for hosting. For everyone who's just tuning in, hello, my name is Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University, a site for legacy, death, and taxes. Today we are playing with a 4-color Arkham's Astrolabe control deck. You can take a look at the cardboard live extension on the left-hand side of the screen if you want to check it out. Dr. Derp, I got a good laugh out of some of Anurag's screenshots of that, like, Ren and 6 Miracles hybrid monstrosity deck. My opponent's probably only 1 or 2 more lands away from running out of fetchable lands. So that's cool. I'm a little soft to opposing planeswalkers, but at least Ren isn't, like, super threatening right now. Hello! So I can play this around Pierce and Daze, and have Force backup. So before I do anything else, I'm going to fetch, see if I get stifled. I did not get stifled. Alright, what do you got, friend? Let's fight. Alright, well, my opponent choosing not to stifle me was very good this game. I could have potentially waited one more turn to play the Jace, to play around Pierce naturally, and avoided that situation. But at the same time, waiting also gives them the opportunity to draw into multiple pieces. I'd like to draw like an Abrupt Decay now. Like Abrupt Decay, get the Wrenn and 6 off the table. Will probably mean that my average top deck is better than their average top deck. The opponent has a Goose. And I have many lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 permanents in play, and none of them do anything to impact the board. Also, I can't beat Wrenn and 6 Emblem for Lightning Bolt, right? Like, that's just not a thing that can occur, because all my threats are small. So I guess I have to go for mid-combat ambush this and hope my opponent doesn't ultimate Wrenn this turn and goes for like one more turn of greed. Alright, good. They've gone for a turn of greed. I have a chance. Slim chance, but a chance. It involves them not having... Fuck! Ah! That was bad. That's worse. Thank you, deck. Thank you. Now we're dead on board. 5, 8, 9. It's the age-old fight, Mongoose versus Snake. Of course I was going to go for it. Okay. Decay seems great. Plague Engineer seems good. Would consider Force of Negation, but probably not. I think I'm going to try to, like, fight this as a one-for-one fight. So, like, I can play, like, Duresses and Pyroblasts and Veil of Summer. Like, cut my Force of Wills and just try to play a more one-for-one even game. Maybe the Spellbomb's even good enough, honestly. So Snare seems too narrow. Let's get the Force of Negation out of there. Okay, if you think Duress is too narrow, then that would be everything. I guess it hitting Wrenn does matter. Like, it's just like Wrenn and 6 and Tarmogoyf, right? So 8-ish cards. Snare over K-Command. No, I'm not taking Liliana the Veil. I need to respect all of my answers to True Name Nemesis. And I don't want to Pithing Needle Wrenn and 6, because, like, I'm playing that card, too. I think Veil of Summer is too narrow. I don't know, like, if I'm trimming my forces, I kind of want some counter magic to protect my big, scary cards. But maybe you're right. I could Fluster. Fluster helps to win the counter more, similarly to Veil of Summer, and is easier on the mana. K command to beat Winter Orb? That's not crazy. I think it's either Duress or K command. I'm going to keep the K command because I really like this card. This feels like a mulligan. Like one of the easiest ways to lose to Delver is just like miss your land drops and die to their first threat while they hold up soft permission. If I ponder and miss on lands, I think I'm just going to lose this game to dazes. But I ponder and hit lands, preferably multiple lands. This hand's actually very good. I'm going to think about this one for a minute, see what chat has to say. Like, I have two different answers to True Name. I can shrink Mongoose. I can use Plague Engineer to answer Mongoose. I have great removal spells for Delver. Chat's silent. Oh, God. I think this one's got to go back. I'll be keeping 5 of these. Plague Engineer goes back. I think this is a, like, pray they don't have Wasteland hand. Go, like, oh man, I can't even get Badlands on turn 1. So that goes back. Alright, well, let's look at my mana base and see what I can fetch with Misty. Trop, Underground Sea, Volcanic. I think I have to hope my Renin 6 resolves. I need to play this Inquisition. I need to punch a hole and give my hand time to get better. So that means I fetch Underground Sea, Inquisition my opponent, Ice Fang Coatl on turn 2, and then try to Renin 6 on turn 3. Take the Snare here. Spell Snare is very good against the remnants of my hand. Well, I know they had Stifle. I mean, I know 5 of their 6 cards. Like, oh no, I can't do this off of that land. So I guess it is just Ice Fang Coatl time. But that will happen on their turn, because otherwise they can stifle the card draw, which they might actually do. feels like hardcast days to me. I'm still going to throw this out here, because like if a daze or something gets used on this, the Ren and 6 might resolve. Hello. Come on, Ren and 6. I could really use you to hit play here. That's something that could dig me out of the initial hole created by my Mulda 5. Oh, yeah. Let's get a Misty back. I've already played land for turn. Don't Hydroblast my Ren and 6. Lightning Bolt's fine. Like, if you still spend another card on that, that's great for me. Note that I don't actually know that they have these cards for sure anymore. Those are the maybes. So how many cards does my opponent have in graveyard? So my opponent has 6 cards in graveyard. So Ren and 6 would be the 7th. If I kill it. I think I just need to plan on killing the Mongoose with Dead of Winter, just not now. So I'd like to Ice Fang Coatl attack and Ren and 6 minus. I think I want to play Ren and 6 around Double Daze, even though I don't think my opponent has that. And yes, I do know that this means that my own Ren and 6 is going to die to the Mongoose. I'm aware of that, but their Planeswalker is much more valuable to me than their Mongoose. Yeah, your Brainstorm's fine. Well, I don't love this. But that will incentivize me to brainstorm. That's a good set of cards. So I think I'm going to put back Push and Verdant and redraw the Verdant Catacombs. So I have this push on top of my library. It would be nice for the Delver, but I'm going to plan on sweeping that with the Dead of Winter. Start here. Snapcaster. Do I want to Snapcaster IOK, try to get some counter magic out of their hand and force the Dead of Winter through next turn? Kinda like it. At this point, I'm going to dismiss that. This card, I quite like it. Is this getting a Stifle after everything else? Wow. I'm so surprised I got 2 fetches off then. Super pleased about where this is going. And now my Coatl has Death Touch too. A Lightning Bolt. So now let's take a chump block here and then hope that our opponent doesn't have a counterspell so that I can Dead of Winter and get my 2 for 1. Like, let's see if they were protecting a Spell Pierce or something like that. Yes! Alright. Life's a lot better now. My average top deck is going to be better than their average top deck. Got an answer to some creatures that they could play out. This lets me leave whatever land I want untapped, so it's actually better to leave a basic untapped because it can't be wastelanded. Now, this card does weird things to your play patterns. I'm going to hold that for a Brainstorm. Speaking of, do I just want to do this now? No, I think I'll just wait a turn. I'll consider Brainstorming on my next main phase. Now I have 2 things that I'd be okay with shuffling away. I think that's enough to incentivize me to Brainstorm. So let's do that. I guess I should have played out the Snow-Covered Forest before doing this to play around Flusterstorm. No, just hardcast a Force of Negation. I guess that was a reason to wait on the Brainstorm, but that's okay. So now I'm playing around a lot of soft permission. I'll Ice Fang Coatl on my opponent's turn, I think. I guess a reason to do that on my previous turn was to not let them play a 5th land to hardcast Force of Will. Whee! So much snow. Narset. How do I feel about just jamming that? I could do it next turn with more untapped mana. Ooh, you sent me some bribe. I do like bribe. Thank you for that. I'll take a look at what it is after this match. Was it for a specific deck list, or was it towards daily D&T? So I can, if I just jam, I have 2 to 3 mana up afterwards. I think I'm gonna play out the bad lands and jam. Force of Negation looking real good. Well, I have 1 mana worth of stuff and 3 lands available to me. I think I'm fine with tapping the basics here. I don't really also think we're at the point where my opponent even uses a wasteland if they draw one. Like, if they draw a wasteland, they'll just keep it to have a 5th mana for Force of Will. Alright, so the next time I draw a bomb, I can actually protect it, which is great. Goose. Let's draw a Lily. I am so good at Magic. So good at Magic. Did you see that? And I can even beat the Stifle here. Boo! Boo! See, I even called the shot, and then you swatted it out of the air. And then I saved the shot, and you swatted it out of the air again. I'm going to hold this Thoughtseize for the time being. I'll use it before my next spell that's relevant. Yeah, Delver's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and answer that on their turn, respecting Force of Negation. Okay, well, like, before anything else, let's go ahead and Thoughtseize. Lightning Bolt target me, that's fine. Alright, you have a Wasteland left. So now this is just Dead of Winter. Snapcaster, Dead of Winter, kill both the cards, we go back to top deck land. So I could still have a lightning bolt in hand if I didn't end of turn bolt the Delver. But it's the one of Snapcaster Mage that I happen to draw that punishes me for that exact line. Inquisition? No, let's just pass. Again, I like the play pattern of saving this until I have something that I want to resolve. Another goose. Let's try this again, shall we? All right. So things are looking much better. That brainstorm is gas. I think I'm gonna fire that off. Try to find something that I can put into play, and then Liliana plus. These cards are great. So let's go 1, 2, play Spellbomb, plus Lily. I assume that will be the end of that Wasteland. Nope, that Wasteland is sticking around in their hand like glue. And do I just want to nuke their graveyard now? Is there any reason to? The reason to would be Magnetic Sinkhole for my Lily. But I think I can just chill on this. All right. So I'll let them target something with their Ren and 6. I'll draw my Decay, which will answer the Ren and 6. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to draw the Fatal Push or not. I'm going to lean towards not. Yeah, I like this scenario better. It plays much better around like a top deck True Name or Mongoose. You know, that being said, I would like a little bit of gas, but that's okay. Let's clear that Delver out of the way. Have Snare for a top deck Ren and 6 or Tarmogoyf. Not for a Mongoose. Alright. I could just plus this and try to keep it alive, but I think that's a weird, elaborate dance that I probably don't want to be doing. We've gotten value out of this card. Hold the Misty Rain for us for a Brainstorm. I don't know where my clock went. I must have tanked on something. Hey, hey, welcome. Spell Pierce is unlikely to do much this game. We've got Brainstorm fodder for days, though. Human wizard. Actually, let's name Rogue for True Name Nemesis. No, I'm moving Monday, so I'm packing up the car on Sunday. Looking forward to it. I'm about 85 or 90% packed up here. So I'm in very, very good shape. Yeah, sure, you have a Tarmogoyf. I don't think I need to play the Liliana's Triumph. I'll wait till my turn and see if I want to do something different. The specs for my PC aren't impressive. The only thing that's impressive is I have a pair of 27-inch monitors. Those are sweet. All right, let's put back land, land. So let's ponder. Yeah, the bigger monitors make life so much better. It's on Rogue for True Name. Yeah, so I've got a pretty big desk, and basically the entire desk is taken up by these pair of monitors. It's so glorious. Yeah, we had some really awkward game Ren and 6 square offs in game 1 that took a lot of time. No, they're not curved. Mine are like the HP 27-inch, very, very thin ones. Yeah, streaming adds a lot of time to how long it takes you to do things. Because, like, you sit there and explain your lines. I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm just saying that it is the reality of the situation. So, for example, when Connor, Lomer Boy, started streaming, he was timing out almost every game, even though he'd never do that if he was actually playing. I think I'd be pretty likely to lose this one regardless, though. Like, I'm one wasteland away right now from just being priced out of this game. Alright, so Snapcaster Mage or Ice Fang Coatl will be Ambush Viper. I think it's going to be... You going to play something else that hits the graveyard? Oh, a Delver. And this Dead of Winter resolving would be Gas. So any counterspell turns this into a 3/3. Any spell, really. Yeah, I want to save the Ice Fang's Death Touch to make them that relevant, if at all possible. Oh, yikes. Alright, well, Brainstorm, try to find a land. Alright, we found lands. I don't really have time to think about this. Snapcaster's slow. I want more lands. Send back the second Lily. I really did not want those to flip. So now I need to hope for, like, not a counterspell. This Dead of Winter just basically has to resolve or things are over. Oh my gosh, it worked. I'm still at 7 life. And I don't have a lot of time. But there's hope. I tapped wrong, but it's whatever. Yeah, I'd probably take this one down if not for the clock. I accept that. But I can't get in that many hits in 14 seconds. See if my opponent concedes with 1 second left. But I doubt it. Womp womp. Alright, that one was on me. I spent too much time there. I regret nothing. Yeah, conceptually I count that as a win. Like, I feel like I'm 2-2 right now. I wish I would have realized how much time I was spending in Game 1 on all the Ren and 6 interactions. You know, c'est la vie, so it goes. It was a good game. Very intricate. So Latin Academy was great. So I was the co-director of the Latin Academy play this year. So we did the Stellaria, which is about a fake haunted house. I'll be keeping this hand. It's telling that when I have all of my cantrips available, this is the one that I lead on. So it's Wren with 2 N's. Wrenn. Wren and 6. Yeah, don't super care about getting thought seized right now. What my opponent takes might be telling. Alright, so that presumably means there's some sort of control deck. Yeah, I just took a look at the list. It looks good to me. Let's brainstorm. I'd like to find a fetch land and continue to get snow basics. Yeah, there we go. I'll probably put back one of my 2 lands. I think I'll just ship back these 2. Get a swamp and ponder. Yeah, this is either a mirror or a pseudo mirror in all likelihood. I think I'm okay with these cards. Or at least I'm okay with 2 of them. Like, thought seizing my opponent to take some big dumb card like Jace seems fine. Another land is okay at this stage. And thought seize, Snapcaster thought seize is an okay place to be. I'm hoping my opponent doesn't do something that makes me have to use this Force of Will. How much do I care about this? So Thoughtseize was my top card. I'd really like to keep Snapcaster plus a land out of this. If I let this happen and I lose the Snapcaster, I feel very bad about letting it resolve. I think I just let it resolve, though, and hope to keep Snapcaster. Well, losing both lands kind of sucks, too, but hopefully we draw out of that. I get the Prismatic Vista. Or no, I lost the Prismatic Vista. Well, I'll be taking the Gurmag Angler. Because if I don't, the entire game and all of my resources will become a fight over it. Like, I've got the Plague Engineer to answer it, but they have Force of Will to back it up. And plus, they could just, like, Lightning Bolt or Braid my Plague Engineer. There's a Shuffle with the Ponder. Brainstorming and hitting a land drop here is pretty big. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Nice. Now what? Probably gonna shuffle away my Plague Engineer. And the Swamp. Then Polluted Delta, fetch out a Swamp. On my turn, Snapcaster Thoughtseize them. On their turn, have Force of Will active. Yeah, let's do that. No, I have 2 of these now, so I'm good for Ren and 6. I do have a second thingy. I think I'm going to save this and just Snapcaster Thoughtseize this turn for mana efficiency. Force, pitch, force. Am I willing to force back? No. No, I am not. I will throw my IOK out there now, though. Ooh, opponent has a Planeswalker that I get to take. Delicious. I accept your hymn to Turok, friend. I think I'm going to save this. I knock them off of 2 of their cards in their hand temporarily if I do this. And it makes some of their top decks, like the 3-drops and Jaces, less threatening. Are you going to throw a lightning bolt at my face? I'd be so happy. Nice. Ice Fang, Coatl, and friends, you have a greater chance of living. I will do this now. Because I'm fine with hitting land drops. I'm fine with hitting land drops. I mean, I kind of wanted that land drop to be a fetch land, but, you know, whatever. Let's see if this gets abraded. I don't think it will. I mean, this is great. I have a safety net for the scariest things that can happen, but my opponent might also end up with force backup for whatever they do. Zach, I'm planning on brainstorming on my next turn. Unless I draw a land. Yeah, so now I have double hardcast force. Yeah, and I'll just let the Abrade on this resolve. I will end step Brainstorm on my opponent's turn, though, and decide how I want to sculpt things from here. These are good cards. I feel like I'm putting away Fatal Push for sure. K-Command can get back. Well, I guess I can just redraw one of these. I can go put back Fatal Push Force, K-Command, get back an Idiot, and then have Force and Narset. So let's actually return Snapcaster and make you discard a card. Do I want to force back? I think I force back. All right, so they've discarded Lightning Bolt. So given how that all played out, now I think I just main phase, snap, K-Command, get back Coatl, and take their card. I guess it's technically better to do this in their upkeep. All right, so they're targeting me and Snapcaster Mage. So I lose my Narset. Now I cast K-Command. Oh, I need to let that trigger resolve. So now I'll cast K-Command. So I'll return my Snapcaster Mage and shock you. Yeah, my opponent's timing wasn't ideal, although honestly my timing, oh god, that's so punishing that they drew Jace there. Alright, so they're trying to play around a Lightning Bolt by plussing. And they let me keep whatever that card is. A Misty. Yeah, if we had a Narset, that would have been real good. It's a shame we didn't play the K-Command in our own upkeep to play around that. So I think I want to Snapcaster Ponder and try to find my one of Lightning Bolt. No, that doesn't do it. They plussed. I'm going to Snapcaster Ponder and see what I can do to get myself out of this. Run at 6 would be pretty good. And that's not good enough. This is okay. I guess I'll play out my land. This neck's pretty good. Like it's another body. It's going to cantrip me into another card. I'm going to hemorrhage cards to this Jace, though. Alright. Let's do this the slow way, then. Oh my god. How does this work? I would like to make... So now I need to float this. Blue. Manually pay. There we go. Yeah, that's not really what I wanted. Not the optimal draw there. I think I need to attack Jace to open up the line of Lightning Bolt kills it. What do you have left in hand, friend? It's probably going to be a land now. Womp womp. Alright, so my opponent is giving me the opportunity to eliminate the Jace with a Lightning Bolt. That's the good news. Bad news is my opponent has an active Jace. So, you know, we know how that goes. Well, you're a little late, friend. I don't think I can make this trade here. I think I just have to pass the turn. But I think this one has officially slipped away. Yeah, I mean, I think it's my fault I lost, right? So I could have just played the K command in my own upkeep to play around the opposing K command. So, like, it's totally my fault. Because then I would have had the Narset, then the Jace wouldn't have done anything, and this game would have been over. So, like, it's my fault. I lost this one myself. So I have just me to blame. Lightning Bolt. Not Lightning Bolt. But an acceptable card. I don't have to point this one at my opponent. It's an each opponent. Opponent drew gasoline and fill was bad. Do I just start going this way with it? Opponent's at 6. Is that a K command, return the Strix? Ay. Oh no, return the Angler. That's even worse. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think I can beat that Gurmag Angler plus Jace. I'll agree to scoop to time there. Alright, so what do I want? Spell Bomb seems good. Decay seems good. Veil of Summer is maybe questionable. Blasts are good. Flusterstorm's probably fine. Actually, I probably won't play that. The Needles are somewhat symmetrical, but my opponent's going to have more Jaces than I do, so I should probably play it. Alright, so let's assume that I want to cut some number of pushes. How good is Snare? So Snare is Strix, Liliana's Triumph, Snapcaster, that's fine. So no Needle. Him as well, yeah. I'm not going to want to cut that. I'm probably going to go down some number of forces and just try to play the Attrition War. I feel like I'll keep Force of Negation because it's more hard castable. Maybe I want like one more of those. Like keep one force. I can't call it force anymore. Keep one force of negation, one force of will. Pierce is so good early that it might be worth it being worse in the late game. Cut both pushes, I can see that. So this is still 61. Should I cut the Dead of Winter? It's so expensive, and my opponent isn't going to have that many threats. It's a way to break parity in that it can be more than a 1-for-1. But I think I'm fine with that going. Yeah, let's do this. I would like to play first. I will keep this. I'm going to hope to draw another land so that I can play Ren and 6 on turn 2. Or I could just give up on playing Ren and 6 early completely and just Thoughtseize my opponent since they mulliganed. Yeah, let's give up on playing Ren and 6 early. Well, my opponent's hand is pretty good. I'm going to take the Narset here. They don't have access to black mana currently, but they have 2 or 2.5 cantrips. So I'd like to draw an Astrolabe so that I can fix my atrocious mana. Atrocious mana confirmed. Cannot currently cast any of the cards in my hand. But wouldn't have hit for Ren and 6 this turn anyway. Or this turn. I'm not judging. Like, I get it. we've just opened on the Astrolabe for so many games that we've been lucky in that regard. Well, my opponent's hand got really good. And this is the stuff that they're letting me see. Yikes. I'm going to take the him. I'm going to make the perhaps wrong assumption that they have hidden a black source on top to incentivize me to not take the him. That may be crazy. But I think they might have gotten greedy, and they're trying to keep a whole bunch of stuff. Alright. So I know they have Snapcaster and Jace. I wish I had the ability to cast this round in 6. It'd be so good. We don't have Taiga, do we? Taiga would be cool. So I think I want to get something with green. Let's take a tropical island. And kill some birds. Solway. Bird! Alright, very glad my opponent has missed a land drop. I'm also going to get to Ren in 6. Which is cool. I guess I can decide if I want to make this, if I want to protect this Plague Engineer. It seems like I just, oh wait, dude. So they'll get to Brainstorm? Yeah, I think I just let that happen and then tap out for the Ren in 6. Kill their Snapcaster. I don't know why they're brainstorming now instead of waiting a touch longer. Oh, maybe they're deciding whether or not they want to block. But I feel like they're blocking no matter what. So if I get bad lands, give me the red and the double black. Kind of just want to hold up Force of Negation for Jace, though. I think I made a mistake in fetching. I think I get Volk now that I've done that. If they brainstormed into a land and they just cast Jace after I cast Ren in 6, I think I'm in the worst position. So I'm just going to hold up Force of Negation plus Veil of Summer. Yeah, that's fine. So there's that next land for Jace. So now I can safely Ren in 6. While also holding up Force of Negation for Jace. But I think I'm just going to pass still. Like, I think I want them to make the first move. It's going well. We've got a really interesting game. So they're presumably going to force a will, and then I get to Veil of Summer. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My opponent commends the play. So let's send back. Land. Land. Play a fetch. Pass. Yeah, Julian's been playing it in Elves. And I think he's up to some absurd number of them. We have Wasteland. I have a single Wasteland. Well, that resolves, but it's going to get Abrupt Decay, so that's not actually a big deal. I'm really glad they didn't minus. And get back a Strix. But I guess if they did that, this dies. I'm not going to look at the power and toughness to map that out currently. Oh, right, I was trying to fetch green for decay. Forgot I didn't have an Astrolabe. Really start paying attention to what lands are left in my deck, by the way. This will give me my other basic island, I guess. So I have a Plague Engineer in my graveyard I could choose to get back. I don't even know that I want to do that yet. Hey, my mana fixing. Oh, nice. I don't think I'm going to play the Jace until I have Force of Will available to protect it. Like, I just like the option of hard casting this Force of Will to stop something that matters on the other side of the table. If this is a K command, I'm countering it. Well, I'm glad I didn't play the Jace. Alright, my opponent scoops it up. Do I want to change anything based on what I saw? Not really. I'd consider another Force of Negation, though. I think I want to play that when I'm on the draw. Over maybe a discard spell. It's Junk and Inquisition when I'm on the draw. And then call that good. So this is going to be the last match of this stream. I hope you all have enjoyed it. It's gone a little slowly. There's a lot to think about with the mana base of this one. And I was clunky at using the Astrolabe. The deck list is probably better than my record right now. I think that's fair to say. Liliana's... Oh, did I kept Lily's Triumph in? Well, I shouldn't have done that. I thought I cut that before. That's on me. I think I'm going to hold up Snare off of what will be a basic. Oh my god, did my opponent keep a one-lander? Oh, baby. Oh, baby. What does Ungar's Rampage do? Sacrifice artifact, creature, or planeswalker. I don't care about that right now. I guess I'll take your Snapcaster. So no possibility of countering that, unfortunately. Yeah, I probably should have played the Forest. Although my snow count isn't going to matter all that much this game. Well, you have a lot of Force of Wills. I'm really somewhat surprised that you didn't protect the Jace there. I mean, obviously I accept. I kind of want to Snapcaster Thoughtseize them now. Take that Ponder. I'd even consider, like, forcing a Force here. I guess it can be I okay. Yeah, Fatal Push on a Snapcaster is fine. I don't care about that. Now I have Hardcast Force of Will up for their turn, otherwise end step Ice Fang Coatl. Yeah, I agree. My opponent's spirit is broken. Yeah, that's fine. I will brainstorm off of this one. Let's put back a land and an Abrupt Decay. We'll hold the Abrupt Decay on top, hold open, Hardcast Force. Yeah, that's fine. Well, that's super punishing. It's my intention to hold that for Snapcaster Mage. So 1, 2, 3. So I can Fluster. Alright, really glad I didn't get punished for that. That's a great draw. Now I don't need to think about my mana anymore, which is awesome. K command is great. I'll probably do that when I have 6 mana. I might need to just do it now. Yeah, your Ponder's fine. They always end up like this because we both have so many removal spells in our deck. No one gets any things. Alright. I'll return an Ice Fang Coatl. You discard a card. Red, black, blue. Yeah, I forgot I had the Snapcaster. I'm eyeing my clock very carefully. Thank you for waiting until my turn, so I can force a negation whatever you're about to do. Oh wait, no, the other way. So I can't do this. Oh wait, no, I can just hard cast it still, right? Well, that sucks. That's just a touch too late. The good news is if they minus to get a creature back, I get to bolt that and kill it. I did not. Unfortunate. Burning 6 is fine. I can bolt down their Lily to prevent them from ultimating and then try to ultimate myself. I'm going to hold this other land for brainstorm reasons, though. Let's just not let them see my hand. So I'd like to not cast this bolt if I just rip Abrupt Decay. Which I did not. I guess I can do this in their upkeep. What do you think the odds are that the Spell Pierce does something this game? Eh? Eh? Nice. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I get to just cast one bolt a turn. That's inconvenient. I get 2 a turn if I wasn't bad, but I'm bad. I think I got it. Yes! Seconds to spare. All right. GG. So, like, I went 2-3 this league, but I definitely feel okay with this overall shell. It does feel like I have a weakness against opposing planeswalkers. So I have 2 Abrupt Decays in the 75 to deal with the CMC 3 or less ones. But like when a Jace hits the battlefield, that's not good for me. Like I get Pyroblasts for post-board games, but I don't really know if that's enough. And the problem is that like the Pithing Needle is not really an answer to Planeswalkers, since I'm often shutting off many of my own at the same time. So I think basically we 3-2'd, but I timed out a game that I was going to win. So like I feel like this is a fine deck list. Maybe, yeah, that's a good point, Daniel. Like maybe there should be an Assassin's Trophy somewhere in here, because I don't really care that much about giving my opponent the basic land, and just having another answer to Planeswalkers is pretty strong. Or alternatively, and I know PVDH has already tested this, but alternatively, having another big threat that can pressure them, like a True Name or a Tarmogoyf, is also something that I consider as well. Super happy with this league. This was a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoyed. I've got an 11:30 lunch thing that I need to go to, so I hope you've enjoyed. I'm going to go ahead and host some Turbo Depths with Tagores. So if you've enjoyed, please consider supporting the channel in some way, whether that's going to end up being through a donation, through following, through retweeting when I go live, whatever. And if you're really enjoying it, please consider doing something to financially support me and the content that I'm making. Cheers, folks. Have a good day, and I hope you enjoy some Turbo Depths. I'm going to pass my viewers along to more great Legacy action. 3, 2, 1, goodbye!